What's going on, Cinepals? I am Andrew Flash Gordon, and I'm joined by my co-host, Courtney Scott Wright. Courtney, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Hello, hello.
And this is our non-spoiler review for John Wick Chapter 4. As I just mentioned, we will not be spoiling any plot details, anything. We're just going to give our thoughts on what we thought of the film, again, without spoiling anything. We will have a spoiler review coming up soon. So if you do want to see that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and smash the like button so you can let YouTube know that you are enjoying what you were watching. What'd you think of the film?
First of all, I loved it. I love that it kind of dropped us right back in to where the other, chapter 3 left off, and it just kept going. The action was ridiculous. It was every time you think that John Wick cannot find something new to battle and make it exciting, they do. I mean, some of the kicks and the flips and the stunts were absolutely incredible. Some of the setups with different vehicles that they use, it's just absolutely incredible, and everybody gave a stellar performance.
I have loved Donnie Yen so much since, I don't know if you've ever seen the film, it's called Ip Man. I'm sure many of you have seen it. I have loved this man so much in seeing that. He gives such an amazing performance. He's so electric on screen, and his chemistry with Keanu Reeves, they work so freaking in tandem. Before I even continue, though, I think Courtney and I, as well as the rest of you, want to just say Lance Reddick, God rest your soul. He was, again, fantastic in this movie as well.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be so sorely missed. He was a wonderful actor, and I heard he's an even nicer human being.
It was just really, bittersweet to see him, knowing that he's been with this franchise since the very beginning. We did have a chance to hear, the director speak a little bit about him. And said that, and they said that Lance Reddick was one of the first actors cast in this series, in the first John Wick. And so to see him, it was just so beautiful and heartbreaking.
This is a movie, and I'm sure Courtney's going to back me on this, and many other people who saw this film already. First of all, you got to see this in theaters. I highly recommend an Imax. I know it's, times are tough right now, and it's a little more costly, but I promise you are getting your money's worth.
The sweeping landscape that the cinematography captures on Imax is absolutely fantastic. I just can't explain it or express enough that it is just so gorgeous to see.
In every John Wick movie, you're going to go to many different locations. There were some great places that they chose to. And again, using the setting as kind of a character for John Wick to use as a battleground. I loved all the settings and all the locations.
Yeah, and
so
because
cool.
all the settings had purpose. Yeah. They weren't just traveling
just to travel.
And sometimes in other series, they they just want to give you a beautiful location, there's a reason that he needs to go to each one of these different cities. And it's explained within the story. I thought the story itself was so well done in the sense of it had a meaningful reason and arc for his journey. Yeah. And I just think it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I had so much fun in this movie.
Oh, I agree. I mean, this movie, I believe the first 3 films are no more than 2 hours, 2 hours, 5 minutes, 10 minutes each. Yeah. This one is 2 hours and about 40, 45 minutes, so make sure you go to the restroom before you see the film.
Yes.
Because you don't want to miss 1 minute. I mean, you will have literally missed a bombastic action sequence if you get up, and there's plenty of action in this movie. And the thing I love about John Wick, obviously the story was incredible. It's emotional, it's character-driven, it's powerful. You're invested in the characters, which is always the most important thing, because that obviously makes you more invested in the action, of course.
Bill Skarsgård, I gotta say, when he came on screen, I knew immediately who he was, but, I'm used to seeing him in these, dark, kind of edgy, creepy roles, and this one was such a departure. It was very classy, it was very strong and intimidating,
elegant,
and yet very elegant and just super fun to watch him play with this character.
Yeah, no, you don't, obviously you're rooting for John Wick, of course, but also there's something about this guy, I'm he's a good, I'm interested in this, I like actually spending time and learning more about him, hearing his lines of dialogue. He's an interesting villain. Obviously, most of us come, hey, we want to see John Wick explode, kill a bunch of people, and do all that stuff.
Yeah, Ian McShane as Winston, the manager, and Laurence Fishburne. all the regulars, the key players that you're going to get.
And there was a lot of good humor in this. They didn't go like overboard with the humor, but there was just the right amount of balance with the amount of action and also the emotional punches that we get throughout the film. I was like, this humor is perfect. They're not going overboard. Obviously, we know a lot of franchises like to go overboard with humor.
There's another character.
Shamier Anderson's character, the tracker.
Oh, okay. We can go to him. I was
fantastic.
actually going to he was wonderful.
Fantastic.
He was absolutely wonderful and engaging. Like, I loved him. He has a special partner that he travels with that I'm not going to say.
Yes, we won't go into that.
But the two of them are just wonderful. I love what they bring. By the end, you're just absolutely, like in love with him and kind of rooting for him to have some success in this journey.
That's what I love about this movie. It's like, obviously, we want John Wick to win, of course, but it's like, I'm still rooting for this person, but I'm rooting for this, but I want John Wick. But what
I was gonna say was there's a scene where John has to, he's looking for a very specific person and oh, it's so good, this scene. I can't even tell you about it, but you're getting like, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about when you see it.
The scenes where it's not even action-packed, you're on the edge of your seat, you're so into the dialogue, you're so into the character.
Intrigue.
Exactly. With a 2-hour and 45-minute film, I was like, okay, none of the other films have been this long. Like, how are we going to keep the interest up in every scene they were able to? There wasn't literally, and I'm not even being facetious here, I'm being truly honest, there was not 1 minute where I was bored looking at my watch like, this is dragging. The pace was phenomenal on this film. For the most part, it was really good.
I will say that there were a couple of lows for me, but I think that it wasn't that it dragged in any way. It was, for me, it was a change in the scope of what I'm used to in a John Wick film. Because it's usually just action, stunt, you know what I mean? Like battle, gunplay.
Yeah.
So when there are the still moments that are the intrigue, that are setting the pace of the story, that how it's going to move forward, those are things that that are a little bit different. And so I won't say like different for John Wick. You know what I mean?
Totally. No, I gotcha.
So like I did feel myself kind of like just relaxing a little bit, like, okay, all right, like what's going on?
No, I feel you.
And then immediately it would be like boom, like
back
we're right back into it.
And of course, when we get to the spoiler talk, we'll get more into that about specifically what you're talking about. But anyways, guys, let us know in the comment section. I want
to say the one thing about, she's a female character. Her name is, the actress's name is Rina Sawayama, and she plays Akira. And this actress, this is her first film.
Yeah,
I got to see an interview
with Keanu
Reeves, and he was talking about her, and she got to share a little bit about her experience being on John Wick, and she's never acted in anything before.
You couldn't tell watching this.
You could not tell. She was absolutely
fantastic,
so beautiful,
and a badass.
And she was a badass, and she was engaging. Like, her emotional depth and what she brought to this role was so heartbreaking and just like lovable, and just I wanted to be her.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, she was just awesome.
No, she was great, and we'll go more in depth about her character when we get to the spoiler talk. But anyways, let us know in the comment section, are you guys looking forward to John Wick Chapter 4? Have you rewatched the other 3 films in the series?
Ready.
You should. Make sure you catch up on those films before you see this. See it in IMAX if you can. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Again, if you are going to comment in the spoiler section, please be respectful of everyone. Do not put any spoilers, and we will see you guys on the next one. I'm Andrew Flash Gordon, and this is
Courtney Scott Wright.
See you guys later.